president speaking to reporters this afternoon after the passage of a House bill codifying the definition of anti-Semitism, which sailed through the House last night with overwhelming bipartisan support. The bill relies on a definition of anti-Semitism established by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. If passed, it would give the Department of Education more leeway to enforce anti-discrimination laws as college campus protests spread. But
Hey, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Howard of GMS Toronto coming back with another one. This is what we asked for, brothers, right? What's that? We asked for Esau to make a move. Now he's starting to make his moves, right? He's making his moves legally, right? That's what this devil does. He changes times and he also changes laws. Like the scripture says, that's what he uses on his side. The pen is more powerful than the sword, right? He understands that if the people were to rise up against him now, if he doesn't have the law on his side, then he would be in trouble. This way, once he passes all these laws, now every little infraction that we do, they can get us out of the way. But guess what? That's what we did to them, right? They're just doing unto us what we did to them back in the day. When we were in rulership, right? Our people passed laws that made it illegal to practice alternative lifestyles, made it illegal for them to practice zoophilia. It made it illegal for them to practice witchcraft. It made it illegal for them to do any type of wickedness that they're allowed to get away with today. That's how you know the wicked are in rulership today. Because everything that used to be outlawed is no longer outlawed. And they're allowed to do, you walk down on the street corner and you see palm reading on every single corner in every single city. You know why? Because they promote witchcraft. Back in the day, they had to go underground. Right? That's why a lot of these different belief systems are known as mystery school teachings or occult teachings. They were hidden. Now this is 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 20. And after that Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 143rd year and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude, and entered proudly into the sanctuary and took away the golden altar and the candlestick of light and all the vessels thereof, and the table of the shewbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, and the veil, and the crown, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. Right? He's a thief. Right? But that's an Edomite. He took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also, he took the hidden treasures which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre, and spoken very proudly to let you know that he's an Edomite, right? That proud spirit that they have. Therefore, but like the scripture says, pride goeth before destruction. Therefore, there was a great mourning in Israel and in every place where they were, right? Just like today. This is a representation of today. This is actually history that happened, right, with Antiochus, but this is a representation today. Verse 26, so that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed, just like today. We don't recognize our women. The beauty has been changed, right? They look like heathens. Our women are walking around with blonde hair. Our women are walking around with BBLs, right? They're walking around drinking Hennessy, smoking weed. Okay. Those are not our women. None of our women are quote unquote beautiful, right? Their beauty has been changed, right? We as men, we have just accepted the new standard of what we think beauty is, but that's not our women according to what it's supposed to be. Okay? Verse 27, every bridegroom took up lamentation, right? And that's what we're doing right now, right? We're mourning. That's why you have you men, you're crying, oh, the black woman this, the black woman that, the Kevin Samuels, oh, the black woman this, right? Those are men taking up lamentation. Those are bridegrooms, right? As a man, your job is to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, yes, but as a man, your job is to also have a woman, right? A man shall leave his father and mother and cleave unto his wife, right? So these men, these bridegrooms, they want women, they want children, they want families, but they're mourning, they're in lamentation. Why? Because we're in the time of our destruction, right? This is not the place of our rest. So if it's not a place of our rest, then it's a place of our mourning. Okay? So it says, every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness, right? Just like all these women. So even the women that do want to get married, they complain. Okay? Verse 28, the land was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion, just like today. All right? Our people covered with confusion. They don't know what to do, where to turn, right? So they just choose the wickedness that they know. They continue the men continue to sell drugs. They continue to commit adultery. You women continue to commit adultery. You continue to be whores, right? Because our people are covered with confusion. Verse 29, and after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them. But all was deceit, for when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. And that's what's going to happen today. You people are going to trust these Edomites again. You're going to take the MOTB and you're going to be destroyed, just like the thing that you took a couple years ago. All right. And you were destroyed. Right. You took the jump shot. And now look at you. Look at you. Took the jump shot and now you can't even jump. Verse 31. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captive and possessed the cattle. Why? Why did they kill the men and take the women and children? Because you women are not a threat to a rulership. You're not a threat to men who are in power, just like today, right? You women, right? You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're pawns. That's all you are. You're just a pawn that's being used to actually hold your man down and actually destroy your own seed. And we can tell by the abortion numbers that you are doing a great job, right? This Edomite could not have done this without you, right? The massacre of our people continues legally. You women go to these abortion clinics and you kill off more so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American babies by your choice, by a choice. Okay? Verse 33, then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them. And that's happening today, right? Over there in the Middle East, that's a stronghold for them. That's a stronghold, right? They're battling all of the people in the Middle East, right? Because that land that belongs to us is a stronghold to them. Verse 34, and they put therein a sinful nation. wicked men, and fortified themselves therein. That's it today. And who's over there living in our land? Wicked men. They stored it also with armor. Does that sound familiar? It should sound familiar, because it should sound like the people that are over there today in our land. And that place is stored with what? With armor, right? Lots of weaponry, right? And who's supplying them with weapons? America. Okay? It says they stored it also with armor and victuals, and when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there, and so they became a sore snare. For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary, and an evil adversary to Israel. And all these people are our enemies. They are an evil adversary. That's why we call them Satan. What is Satan? It simply means adversary, right? Not this, you people, you're always calling out the spiritual demon Satan. And yes, the spiritual demon Satan is a tempter, but we actually have physical adversaries that are in the flesh upon this earth. Okay? Verse 37. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it, insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them. Whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers, and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her. Come on now. Does that sound familiar? So that's why when we claim the land, people are looking at us like we're strange. Let's read it again. Verse 38. Insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them. Fled because of who? Because of the evil people. Whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers, which is what we say to the world, right? That's one of our claims. One of our claims is that there's strangers in our land, and became strange to those that were born in her, right? And that's how people look at us now when we claim the land. They look at us like, huh? You people are strange. But that's okay. Okay? And her own children left her. Verse 39. That's why we say Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. So you have to figure out who the people are before you give credence to the people that are living in the place. Just because of the place, just because you live somewhere doesn't mean that you're the actual people of that land. Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbaths into reproach, her honor into contempt. And that's exactly what happened to us. That's exactly what happened to us. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. And that's what we're living through right now, brothers. Right? So that's why when the other Israelite people see us and they're wondering why we're wearing those kind of garments, because we're in mourning. We were told to put on sackcloth for a reason. Why are we going to put on purple gowns like we're in rulership? We're not in rulership. We're in mourning. We're in mourning, man. This is not a good time. We're in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. We're in the time of the MOTB. We just came out of the time of the jump shot. Right? Verse 41, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. And that's what we're living in that time now. It's called the New World Order, right? A new world order, one government, right? One people and all of that. Okay? Verse 42, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. See? So laws were passed back then, and laws are being passed today. Because those same kings who were back then, who were Edomites, are back here again today, who are Edomites, passing those same wicked, demonic laws. Why? Let's continue to read. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. And profane the Sabbath. And that's what they're trying to get us to do. These people are just trying to get us to leave off our ways, right? A couple of days ago, Mother's Day just passed. And Mother's Day is pushed onto this whole globe. That's a day that's pushed globally. Do you know what Mother's Day is? Mother's Day is a time to worship the Mother Goddess, right? It's a time to worship the Mother Goddess. The worshiping of the Mother Goddess starts in April. Well, really February, right? But April, right? For April, and then May, and then for June, for Juno, the dove, the goddess, right? So it says, for the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judea, that they should follow the strange laws of the land. And that's what's happening again today. And the only way for us to worship Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai righteously is to do it underground, so to speak. That's what they're trying to get us to do. They're doing to us what we did to them. When we outlawed all the wickedness and they were unable to perform their wickedness, they had to do it secretly. Verse 45, and forbid burnt offerings, right? Are we allowed to do burnt offerings today, brothers? Is that something we're allowed to do? Even though that it's not necessary, but is that something that we would be allowed to do in this society? No. Where are we going to keep the animal? Right? They're going to tell us, oh, it's inhumane to kill the lamb. It's inhumane to do this. It's inhumane to do that. Oh, you're going to have to get have permission from the city. The city's going to have to do, like, what? And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. And Noslakia, they, and I'm excited that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable. Is that not what's happening today with our children? Right? And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Right? This is our history, man. And this is our current situation, our current status as a people. We're destroyed, man. And we're destroyed by a law. Right? That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. That's the point. That's the point. To the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. That is the goal of these wicked people that are in rulership today. How do we know that's the goal? Let's get it. This is Psalms 83:1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. That's how we know. That's the point. They don't want our name to be in any more remembrance. And it's not. That's why when we tell people who we are, our true biblical nationality, they scoff. Even our own people scoff because they are lost. Right? Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. See? Going back to what we just read. That's that new world order. Right? That's making the people one. Right? For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom. And you see who it started with? It started with you Edomites. Okay? This is 1 Samuel chapter 28. Let's go to 9. And the woman said unto him, behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he hath cut off those that have familiar spirits, and the wizards out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die? Right? So all those things were outlawed back then. They were all outlawed. So, but were those things still being done in secret? Yes. This is Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 8. Then said he unto me, Son of man, dig now in the wall. And when I digged in the wall, behold, a door. And when he said unto me, go in, and behold, the wicked abominations that they do here. So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping things and abominable beasts, and all the idols of the house of Israel portrayed upon the wall round about. And there stood before them 70 men of the ancients of the house of Israel, and in the midst of them stood Jazaniah, the son of Stephan, with every man his censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up. Right? They were performing some type of ritual. Then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark, every man in the chambers of his imagery? For they say, the Lord seeth us not. The Lord hath forsaken the earth. He said also unto me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Then said he unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these. Okay? So this is the wickedness that was outlawed, that people were doing in secret back then. Today, wickedness is okay, and righteousness is being outlawed, and we will have to take our righteousness, quote unquote, underground. That's why I'm speaking the way that I'm speaking in these videos. I'm speaking in code to you brethrens, right? And if you're not meant to get it, hey, you're not going to get it. Right? And the things that we're going to do to praise Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we won't stop. Right? We're not going to take your C-hip. Right? We're not going to take your jump shot. We're not going to take the MOTB. We're not going to take the mark of the beast. Right? And we're not going to do none of those, even if you threaten us with death. So this is back in 1 Maccabees chapter 1. Now this is verse 49 again. It says, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances, right? That's the point. Verse 50. And whoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die, right? He said he should die. And that's okay. That's okay, right? You can punish us with death and torture, whatever it is you have to do, Esau. Do your best, man, because this is your last hoorah, right? You're finished. You're finished. So no matter how much laws you pass, no matter how much of us you imprison, no matter how much of us you kill, you're still going down, you damn devil. And with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and elder apostles of GMS that rule well and that teach well. To the brothers on the four corners of the earth doing this work in truth and in sincerity. Shalom. Till next time. Kwame Yasharallah.